Finding your purpose is the most important thing for you as an individual and a future successful business person. In this video, I'm going to give you everything you need to know to find your purpose in business. But if you cannot stay on this video for just 5 minutes without clicking off, I got some potentially bad news for you. You're probably not going to make it. Now, this word, purpose, may sound very fluffy. Then they don't teach this at school, in my opinion, for a reason. Because if you understand purpose, you're very unlikely to work for somebody else. Purpose is deeply personal. When you align with others who share your purpose, you find your tribe and sense of freedom. But finding purpose is not as easy as you may think. And it's not something you have been given any of the tools through which to make it happen. So, what is the first step in finding purpose? And the first step is very obvious, that people do not want you to take, namely to think about it. People might mock you for thinking about it, making it seem silly or too complicated. This can discourage you from pursuing it and push you back into your old habit. You need to think about your purpose. In the past, we lived in tribes and operated in principles such as give without take, helping each other for the betterment of the community, not for personal gain. If somebody needed help, you'd give it freely, which made the tribe stronger. Over time, as you help more people, you become an expert, known for your generosity and skills. People would speak well of you even when you were not around because of your selfless contributions. Today, this mindset doesn't fit the modern narrative of working in call centers or factories, a system designed by industrialists just like Henry Ford. The school system also neglected the concept of purpose. They ask you the very wrong question, which is, what are you going to do when you grow up? Instead, there is a more meaningful question to ask, which is, what problems are you going to solve? So, the next step in discovering your purpose is asking yourself, what problem matters to me? This shifts the focus from just performing a job to making a meaningful impact. Now, at first, not too much springs to mind. If something specific comes to mind, that's fantastic. In a moment, I'll explain how to act on that idea. But if nothing comes to your mind right away, start thinking about problems that have affected you, whether big or small. It can be something simple, like the bank not opening at the hours you want, or you don't have access to a swimming pool around you, etc. Just come up with something that bothers you personally. This might seem trivial, but when you start thinking about it, what bothers you, it activates the entrepreneurial muscle in your brain that helps you solve problems. Now, the issue of, banks not opening on time may not be the problem that you ultimately choose to solve, but just getting your brain to think about problems and solutions can lead to understand how to find your purpose. The third thing you can do is to start figuring out how to align or match your life with your purpose. Matching your daily activities to your true purpose is often easier than you think. I've met countless people who told me about their dreams, and usually their dreams in life are just require a small adjustment away from what they're currently doing. Sometimes as little as 3% difference. It's just like the DNA difference between chimpanzees and humans, which is also just about 3%. For example, I met somebody who wanted to start their own jewelry store, but was working in someone else's business. They were just missing the crucial insight to turn their purpose, making jewelry to bring joy to people into their own business rather than somebody else's. They lacked only the knowledge and the realization that their purpose was almost within reach. Often the system makes you feel just enough satisfied about what you are doing. If you're making jewelry for somebody else, then you say, well, at least I'm making jewelry. At least I'm creating jewelry here. But you have to break away from that type of mindset. You've got to realize that if you're going to do your purpose, you have to learn what I said earlier in another video, which is to take risk. but most importantly, to truly know yourself. Once I interviewed an incredibly wealthy individual and asked him, how did you build your intuition? He told me that when he was young, when he was little, he would always go to his parents to ask questions, but they would never give him the answer, which actually helped him figure out he needed to be the one proactively searching for answers. So this experience is exactly what I'm trying to convey here. You have a purpose. Yes, I can help, I can guide you, but ultimately you need to ask yourself what your purpose is and how you're going to achieve it. It all starts with introspection, asking yourself not what you want to be when you grow up, but what problem you would like to solve. Then align your life with that problem. The final thing I want to say is that you don't have to do this alone. Let's say you are passionate about sustainability. Saving the environment is part of your passion. You can join forces with others who are working in this field. The one piece of advice I have for you, however, is to always ask for equity whenever and wherever you work. I'll cover this a bit later, but this is very important. It's a crucial step towards achieving the life you want. When you find your purpose, you don't be overwhelmed by the idea that it has to be something monumental for it to be meaningful. It doesn't have to be solving the world's problems. No matter how big or small, you can collaborate with others. Remember, 1 + 1 = 11. Once you know your purpose, you can find people, communities, and in the old days, tribes to help you tackle this problem together. If you don't know your purpose, you will end up working on somebody else's purpose, someone else's destiny. And trust me, it's much harder to work for somebody else than to work for yourself, despite what you may have been told. Now, later I'm going to go into more depth how this all works, but a lot of what I've told you so far cost you absolutely no money. You haven't had to spend any money. Show me your love by liking this video and subscribing, because in the next video, I will share with you more about what gave a significant competitive edge to some of the most successful people I have interviewed. Believe me, you don't want to miss it.